Good evening, Owl family. Hoot, hoot. How is everyone doing? Good evening, Dark Lord Minute. Good evening, Deanne. Welcome into chat. Hoot, hoot. Good evening, Angel. Welcome into chat. How are you doing? Good evening, Cheryl. Hey, Lisa. Welcome into chat. How are you doing? Perlio, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping up with you. How are you doing, Hoot Hoot? I'm not gonna lie, I am exhausted. I am tired as can be. Good evening, fishing for fun. How are you doing, Hoot Hoot? I am tired. It's been hot. It's been a long day. He's doing okay. We went to the doctor's today. I'm going to try to wait for a little more to come into chats so I don't have to repeat myself. They're playing with this medicine again. And yeah. Good evening, Vicky. Welcome into chat. How are you doing? This is your first time. Welcome in. Good evening, Renegade Black Sheep. Hoot, hoot. How are you doing? Oh, there's Pete flying in. How are you doing, Pete? All right, I got to look closer. Shaylee, am I pronouncing it correctly? Welcome into chat. How are you doing? Good evening, Mike. How are you doing? Hoot, hoot. Y'all welcome into chat. Hope everyone's doing well. Also, if you don't mind, don't forget to click the like button. But yeah, today was a long, long day. We left out at from family's house at 9:15, and we got back at 4 o'clock, y'all. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, fishing for fun, but I'm glad you're doing better. Good evening, Jennifer. Welcome into chat. How are you doing? Hoot hoot. Okay. It was titled Men in the Garden Grow Off 2022. Now, it started in like January of 2022, and you had to grow your a 5 gallon grow bag, 5 gallon bucket, had to be 5 gallons, and you had to make it survive from January, oh God, to April. Yeah, done mine in the Hootie Hoop House before, well, when it was the little hoop house, the hood hoop house. Yeah, and my grow bag's still growing. Of course, my team, uh, that sauce, won the contest, and well, my grow bag's still growing and thriving, still alive. Good evening, Remy. How are you doing? Welcome into chat. I know this is your first time. That's good to hear, fishing for fun, because you had one of the milder strains of it. I'm waiting for a few more people to come in before I go to talking about today. Man, I tell y'all, I don't like doctors, and I sure don't like hospitals after what Junior went through. Yes, welcome to all the new owls, the little owlets. All right, for those who are new here, we are called the owl family. Owl breaks down to old ways learners. And The owl family takes it serious being an owl, believe me. So you hear a bunch of hooting, that's why. Good evening, Tammy. Welcome into chat. How are you feeling? I hope you're feeling better. I was kind of waiting for Tammy and a couple more to come in. So I'll go to talking about the update on Junior. Now, this was his kind, if you want to call it, regular doctor, if you want to call it that. And they he wanted to see the that ungodly record keeping of the blood pressure every 2 hours. We went from 8 o'clock to 10 p.m. After that, we said no, we're sleeping the night. And it was every 2 hours we took his blood pressure. And he says that his blood pressure looks really good, just low. Well, no crap, dude. Almost half, at least half, if not just a hair more. All the top numbers are under 100. If you ask me, that's not just a little low, that's too low for my likes. So, they talked about meds, his meds. They have took him off one of his meds because I was explaining to the doctor about how he's now passed out, and I mean blacked out twice. Once he took a knee and almost completely blacked out. And I said, if he stands up, he's dizzy, and he doesn't stand up fast. He doesn't do a whole lot of anything fast now. He walks for a while, he gets really dizzy or almost passes out. So, good evening, October Opal. Hoot hoot, welcome in. So, they hooked him up to, and I just die laughing inside. It's like, come on, people, you can't be this stupid. They hooked him up to another EKG machine. It's like, come on, folks, it's not his heart, it's his descending artery, not his heart. And of course, thankfully, I'm not complaining now. I am thankful the EKG came back fine. Excuse the French, no shit. It's not his heart. It's his main artery coming out of his heart that is ripped from top to bottom inside. Nope. Nope. Didn't check the artery, not whatsoever. Not whatsoever. Now, if it wasn't bad enough, the doctor fairly blew me off for me telling him about him being dizzy, how he can't walk for long distance, that he wears out really fast. Uh, he's blacked out. One blackout, I caught him and laid him gently on the ground because I couldn't get a hold of him. So I just held his hands and slowly guided him down. And he's not supposed to take any falls, any strikes, any hits, nowhere around the chest or his back. That first blackout, he hit the ground hard. I got to tease him a little bit, trying to lighten it up. That he killed one of my big okras. Got okra on the brain. One of my big garlics that had just come up out of nowhere. And instead of him laughing, because I said, yep, just murdered one of my garlics, upset him, I'm like, oh no, you're supposed to laugh. All right. Now, they didn't believe me. Now, when we first got there to the doctor's office, of course, had to fill out paperwork. And then when an hour later, waiting in the waiting room, they finally got us to the back. Read his blood pressure. It was 98/64. The nurse didn't like it. Neither did I. I told her I've been trying to tell them his blood pressure is too low and it fluctuates a whole lot. And she listened. No, the nurse listened to me. So had him walk, and she told him, "You go slow," because of his blood pressure, to the room to wait upon the doctor and see if anybody else. Oh, believe me, Tammy, I know. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. Ain't that the truth, Mike? I swear. Thank you, Jennifer, darling. I appreciate it more than you know. Okay, now here's where we were talking. They were just mesmerized at the blood pressure log we kept. Well, I mean, don't tell educated people, and he knows medicine fairly well. I'm an herbalist. Don't tell us to keep a log of something and not expect it to be what you ask. He was mesmerized because apparently nobody has ever kept a blood pressure log like that before. And I'm like going, dude, you asked us to. What do you expect? I ain't gonna lie, every 2 hours is rough because, especially when I'm working outside and I go inside to do it, you'd be amazed how fast 2 hours go by when you're trying to weed or do something. Okay, he was impressed with that. All right, after the EKG test, which I knew was going to be, read good because it's not his actual heart. His heart is in very good shape. It's his descending artery that is shot to hell. They finally listened to me. Finally, when he got, he wanted a couple of tests, Junior to do a couple of tests. There we go. Before we left. The first one is the lay down, sit up, stand up. Each time, take the blood pressure. Junior scared the hell out of the nurse, worried the hell out of the doctor, and I'm like sitting there, told y'all so, told y'all. All right, in that test, they had him lay down. They took his blood pressure. It was 113/, I think it was 62, something like that. It was in the low 60s. So they were good. They was happy about that. So they had him sit up. They took his blood pressure again. It was 103 over 61, I think. I'm going, yep, here we go. And the nurse is kind of looking at me. I said, tried to tell y'all. Then they had him stand up. Good evening, Grace Before Me Farms. Welcome into chat, Dark Brandy. There we go. Welcome into chat, Brandy. How you doing, darling? Hoot hoot. Okay, here's the fun part. They had him stand up. And of course, after he stood up for a little bit, they done his blood pressure. And I knew something was up because he started weaving. He was weaving back and forth and then started side to side. And I go, baby, are you okay? I knew he was getting dizzy, and not much after that, he would pass out if not careful. She ran his blood pressure, 93/60. She made him sit down, helped him over, set him down. She said, you sit in the chair. We're not putting you on the bed. And I said, I have tried and tried to tell y'all something's not right. Something's not right. It should not fluctuate that badly. Good evening, Billy. Welcome into chat. Hoot, hoot. Yeah, it's too low for my likes. Anytime it goes below 100, it makes me nervous. And he was not only freezing, I mean freezing. That's he's like a lizard or a snake now. It's hard to keep him warm, and I feel sorry for him. All right, so she's like going, just sit there. I'll be right back. I gotta take this to the doctor. Nurse was worried. They took it to the doctor. The doctor had took him, and I die laughing. Takes him off of medicine and tries to sucker us with another medicine. So now this medicine, which don't make any sense and can be very dangerous. I think he's done decided he's not going to take it. Not going to. One, when we was in the hospital, when we actually got to meet the dissection doctor, for the new people in here, for the new people in here, my other half, Junior, also known as Arlo, but he goes by Tinian. Um, he has a dissection in his main descending artery that comes out of his heart. The rip, like your artery is made three layers. There's the outer wall, then there's the squishy stuff in around that, and then the center is the tube that carries the blood from the heart to the lower part of your body. Now, an inch above his heart, the tube started ripping, and it has ripped all the way down to just above where the descending artery splits into two to the femoral arteries, if I remember right. It's over a foot long rip. He was supposed to have surgery, but they kept him in the hospital for 22 days and never done anything surgery wise. Now, when we did finally see the dissection doctor, which was only once, he told us that his heart inside is squeaky clean. All his arteries, all his veins are squeaky clean. There's only one very minute little bit of plaque down in somewhere in one of the arteries or something down around in his abdomen. He said it was so small you could barely see it. Now, with that being said, there's no plaque. Most of the time, plaque is the sign of high cholesterol. They are trying to get him to take a statin, which I don't want him to, and he doesn't want to either. And we don't see a need for it since, well, he has no plaque in the system, which is a good sign of no high cholesterol. So they take one medicine away and add a medicine that could do more damage than anything. So yeah. So that's the update for today. He was supposed to do another test, but because of the first test of him laying down, sitting up, standing up, scared the hell out of the nurse and the doctor. They canceled the other walking test. They're going to let him walk around the hallway, which I knew that wasn't going to work because that man cannot walk far now at all. And I know it's driving him crazy. I know because he can't walk very far at all by himself. And I knew that test wasn't going to go very far, very fast. So that was canceled. He has another appointment. They're so worried about him. He has another appointment in 3 months. Yeah. Now, granted, if this rip, now there's a 50-50 chance, possibility, that it might heal itself. But he's a ticking time bomb. It could blow. I'm trying to stay as positive as I can. But these people, these fools, 3 months later, they want to see him. That's how worried they are about him. No, he could. They knew he couldn't pass a stress test because he cannot. He's not allowed to get excited. He's not allowed to lift anything. He's pretty much not allowed to do a lot of things. He'll never be able to drive a truck again, which that's the number one killer for him, because that was and always will be his first love. It's truck driving, and that's been took away. It is. They're reaching for straws because they won't try. Oh, I forgot. Two big vials of blood, because apparently they're doing now. They're giving them a cholesterol medicine before they finish the cholesterol test. Now, does that make any sense? Not whatsoever. And of course, they're doing a test on his potassium and something else and something else. And I got a printout. The phlebotomist, which we affectionately call vampires, was an absolute sweetheart. I asked her, I said, ma'am, can you please tell me what these tests are and what they're for? She looked at me, she said, you mean they didn't say nothing to you? I said, no, ma'am. They just told us we had to come down to the lab. She stopped. She explained all four tests that they're doing from the blood draw. And then she looked at me. She said, would you like copies of the paperwork? I said, yes, ma'am, please, if you don't mind. She got us copies. And she was really good, didn't hurt him too much. Didn't don't do well with needles anyway. Um, but I did notice that his blood wasn't near as thick as it was this time, but he's not on a blood thinner. So I don't know on that one. I have no clue. But other than that, and then we had to wait two hours or so for prescriptions to be, refilled. Yes, we have a lawyer. We're getting it done. We're getting it done. Oh no, honey, that no nookie. There ain't gonna be no sex whatsoever because that could kill them. And I am not gonna be titled a Black Widow. I'll be titled many other things, but not a Black Widow. Yeah, no, he can't get excited. Anything. No lifting. No. Yeah. Mm-mm. Oh, thank you, Vicky. I appreciate it. Hopefully, I didn't miss nothing. Good evening, D. Welcome in the chat. Hoot hoot. Good evening, A. Perry. Welcome in the chat. How are you doing? But yep, that was today. And yeah, getting the meds pretty much almost wiped us out of fun. So that was fun. But at least he's got meds. And I'm telling you, it's killing me that he's on Big Pharma. It really is. But if that's what it takes, unfortunately, to keep him alive, I've got to suck up ego and just do the best for him. Good evening, Freedom Acres. Welcome into Freedom Acres Homestead. Welcome into chat. Good evening, Tamara. Yep, that's fine, Tamara. I just got done with the update on Junior. I was trying to get all of that in so it didn't take up the whole chat. It's a nightmare. And guess what? What evil just come floating into the living room? It's a Junior smiling at me. It's blood pressure time. Yep, there's no choice. It's what's keeping him alive, and I'm not done with him yet, so he's not going nowhere if I can help it. It was a lot, Tamara. It really was. Everybody saying hi. He waves.
Tell him I said hello.
There he goes. He actually speaks. But yep, that was the fun for today. Good evening, almost homesteading. How are you doing? Hey, Lonnie, welcome into chat. Hoot hoot. How are you doing? Take over one of my arms. Thank you, Forest Girl. Hoot hoot. I didn't see you come in. I'm sorry. If I missed anybody, please let me know that you're in here if I have not called out your name yet, because I don't want anybody feeling left out. How is it?
113 over 8.
Over what?
8.
And you took your meds a while ago, didn't you? 113 over 80. Bottom numbers acting up. No, not yet, because we're a little leery of with him being on 6, now 5 different heart, blood pressure medication, blood pressure, well, blood pressure and heart rate medications. We have to be really careful because I don't want nothing to mess it up. What's for dinner tonight? I'm telling you honestly, leftovers from last night because I'm exhausted. So there's baked chicken breast that I seasoned with some really good barbecue dry rub seasoning, and there was a big pan of scalloped potatoes and a little bit of no banana pudding because the Aussie is allergic to American bananas, but when he goes to Australia, he can eat the bananas there. So that should tell you something's up with bananas. I'm still trying to catch up. But it's doing. I just done my second garlic scape harvest. Lots of videos to come, y'all. Lots of videos. Now, uh, yeah, but they don't want it. It's the bottom number's not supposed to get over 70. That's the problem. It fluctuates. And you didn't take that medicine he took you off, right?
No, I didn't.
So now we got to see He told us to keep an eye on us, not him, us. Keep an eye on his blood pressure, and if it fluctuates way too much, you're going to put him back on it. Like I said, it fluctuates from, it just fluctuates way too much. It's like a seesaw, an old fashioned seesaw. It's up and down, and it's playing havoc with him. Have you studied up on, hold on colloidal gold?
No, actually, I haven't.
I don't even think we could afford to make that.
Not with the price of gold right now.
Yeah, this gold's crazy. But no, we're wanting to, maybe things will calm down now that Junior, can't work. Um, Maybe we can do that. Get to do the video on showing y'all how to make colloidal silver our way, and it's nano, ain't it? Yeah, it's nano, which makes the silver particles even smaller. Oh, believe me, got a lot of videos coming out. No, not yet. I know one's a pepper, one's some kind of pepper seed. I can't remember at the moment the other one. I know the last one, which I got to post a video on, is some kind of pole beans or noodle beans, one of the two. Um, let's see, I'm trying to think. I know Ragnarok sent me something. I can't remember. I'm telling y'all, just stress, and I'm trying not to be the one that goes down next. Hold on a minute. But okay, you talk about, yes, the colloidal silver is supposed to remove the nano crap they are trying to shove on people. I don't know. We'd like to try it. I'm wondering if we could run it the same way through the colloidal silver machine. Should be able to. It's affording the gold rods would be the problem. I would want to do more research on it to see if it actually does anything. The colloidal silver has proven time and time again its extreme importance. And another thing I want to get later down the line, whenever that happens, we have the colloidal silver machine. Junior's wanting to get the to make the water distiller, water distiller, to be able to make the water ourselves for the colloidal silver. I want, and while Junior wants to get it for me, I want to get the machine to where I can take the colloidal water and make colloidal silver cream salves. There's a lot we want to do, a lot. But right now, those air brakes turned into some, yeah, steel brakes, and the wheels ain't turning. Everything's come to a screeching halt here. Okay, Forest Girl, darling, you take care. You have a blessed evening. We'll see you next Monday night. Oot oot. Whoo, whoo, that is high, Pete. All right, are they the almost homesteading? Are they the moon and stars watermelon? Because if they're the moon and stars watermelon, Tammy blessed me with a bunch of those. Good evening, Tracy. Welcome into chat. How are you doing? I'm trying, A Perry. I'm trying my best. It's hard when you got to do everything. It's hard, and I know Junior wants to do stuff, but no. Yes, that colloidal silver we know for a fact works very, very well. Very, very well. Now, see, now do you have a Berkey or do you actually have the distilling water machine? That's what we have to have because we have to make sure that everything is took. Can't use Berkey water. It has to be distilled water, right? Because anything, the least little offset in the water can throw off your complete batch of colloidal silver water.
The water has to be less than 10 parts per million pure.
Okay, the water has to, this is Mr. Colloidal Silver Man. The water has to be less than 10 parts per million pure. Yeah, that's how serious it is. Yeah, Tammy asks, are you on chat? Are you okay?
Uh,
Tammy asks, do you have to have the machine to distill water, or can you do it with a pan and the lid put on it upside down?
you can do it with a normal distiller. Um, if she can get if she can get the vapor to recondense in a second spot, like you need to, then yeah, you could do it on the stovetop, like she's like she's starting to describe.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be
You'd have to be really careful and have to know what your pot is. Not the plant, the actual pot, y'all. Cooking pot. But he's a stickler about doing things like it's supposed to be. And yeah. Hey, I'd love to have some. I would love to have some almost homesteading. All right, hold on. I missed something. All right, let's see. Cranberry, I do know. Hold on. What about stinging gout? The best thing for gout is sour cherry juice or cherry juice. Try to get it with the least amount of sugar in it. It's going to be rough. That is wonderful for gout. There's a whole bunch of other things that's really good for gout. Distilling water machine, that's what she has. Miss A. Perry does. I feel bad. I don't know if it's Mr. or Ms. Perry. I apologize. Good evening, Learn to Grow 2023. Welcome in the chat. How are you doing? That's okay, Pete. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. Hopefully, you can sneak back in because the live is still young. I have other things I want to bring up. No, you got to be careful about the fruit juice. Got to be careful. Some will aggravate gout. Cherry, especially sour cherry, is the best.
okay. What I was talking
Thank you, Almost Homesteading. Thank you. I appreciate it. My husband had a pain in his foot. It didn't swell up, but felt like it was broken.
about.
I'm sorry to hear it. Gout is rough. I've seen many people suffer with gout, and it's horrible. Yeah. Now, if you can, I'm not going to tell you that it's wonderful to drink, but if you can find the cherry juice that is pretty much as natural as possible without much sugar, without high fructose corn syrup and stuff added to it, that's your best bet. Yep, sweets and meats. That's why I'm saying be careful if you can get the cherry juice with the least amount of sweetener in it. That's the best. Okay, the next thing I want to bring up. I know a lot of people probably didn't understand the okra video that posted this morning. I want to let y'all know it's friendly fire. It's a challenge. The little northern man likes to run his mouth. It's a friendly challenge. It's not a fight or anything. Now, what a lot of people don't realize, why do you think I said October 13th for to grow your loan? It's it's part of the, if you've ever heard of Shed Wars. Shed Wars is now Global Gardening and Homesteading Community. It's a gardening competition every year. Um, it's friendly fire. This competition is just for the people in that grow off. Now Wednesday there'll be another video y'all gonna want to see because some of y'all are involved in that one. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. Oh, Dark Lord Minute quit. Okra is good. Let me tell you, you want a happy old Southern gal? Plop a big cast iron Dutch oven of some gumbo in front of me. Watch out. Oh, wow. That's awesome to hear, Vicky. Okra's not creepy. You've got to have it fixed right. And a lot of people don't know how to cook it. Here's the thing behind this okra challenge, people don't listen to the video. By October 13th, there's a good chance everybody's okra plants have gone to sleep because of frost. They have died. Now, the reason behind the longest okra pod is to get people to save their seeds and do it in a competitive way to teach a northern man, let's just say it, a Yankee, that, and he look, he brags about being a Yankee, so we'll just say that.
He needs to quit running his mouth writing checks his
Yeah, he needs to quit running his mouth. Yeah. Junior heard the whole live stream. It was priceless. But it's to get people into the habit of growing your vegetables as big as you can within means, none of chemicals and all that stuff, but to also learn how to save your seeds. Yes, it very much is October, Opal. Yes, it is. Yes, I will show you several ways, many ways to cook and can okra. There's an old way to can okra where it's not slimy. We swear by it because let me tell you, when you can it the way that I learned how to do it, I'm telling you, canned okra, you wouldn't believe it, makes the best fried okra there is. Junior can attest to it, I can attest to it, and I can't tell you how many other people have tried it. Hey, look, it's nothing wrong with having a dirty mind. Keep spice in your life. Yeah, you can make it not spicy, not slimy. It's wonderful. Yeah, no, there's no need to buy okra plants. They're too easy to grow by seed. Hey, slow like the turtle, slow and steady. It will happen. It will happen. But what I'm trying to say about this okra challenge, I cannot tell you how much I've laughed because people are like going, it'll be hard and crunchy. This challenge ain't to grow an okra, the longest okra pod to eat, y'all. It's for seed saving. Ain't about eating it. It's about seed saving. Now, anybody knows when okra gets really long, except for there's several breeds or varieties, not breeds, but varieties that grow really long okra pods. There's no way you should be trying to eat anything 14 inches or more, especially in okra. It's going to be tough and woody. It's because it's getting ready to produce those wonderful seeds that you want. This contest was never about eating the dang okra. And I said, dang, don't look at me. I said, dang, DANG. Never was about eating the okra. It was about harvesting your longest okra pod. Yep, cowhorn okra's a good one. There's quite a few other ones out there. Tabby. Yes, they are, and that's why I've been telling everybody, get prepared. You should have been saving your all of your own seeds all this time. And that's why I was telling everybody, this is the year. This is the year to start growing your food and saving every seed that you possibly can. Make sure that you let the seeds ripen before you harvest them. Oh, thank you, Dark Lord Minute. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yes, we do. We do. And I've been hearing about that. Oh, it gets worse. It gets worse, y'all. Now, of course, I can't post it on in the community tab or nothing because it's fake news. Yeah, sure it is. I'm gonna have to post it on my MeWe page, but it is a listing, a very scary video to watch, and it's a truthful video to watch about what's all in each chocolate brand's chocolate and the limits of lead. What was the other stuff? Lead
Lead and cadmium is what they focus
and
on.
what?
Can, yeah,
cadmium,
cadmium.
and lead. You'd be surprised, even in the organic chocolates, even the dark chocolates, and they break it down to what companies are the safest, that have the lowest levels, to, yes, some organic ones that are ungodly high levels. I'm like, on, oh crap, don't take what little bit of chocolate I do get to eat, because, I'm boycotting Hershey's. I'll quit. Let me tell you, that has not been easy. That has not been easy, but that's okay. There's Mars bars. But yeah, I'm going to post that if I can get the time tomorrow on my MeWe page. I need to try to find time to work. I forget I have an Instagram page. I need to work on my MeWe as well. Do you remember which one was the worst one? Well, believe it or not, I think Kroger was in on the bottom of the list, and the simple truth, I think, was really low as well.
It was one of them.
But I will be posting the link to that on my MeWe page, because let me tell you, that's an eye opener and a half. And it's because the FDA, our buddies, the ones who want to protect us and keep us safe and keep everybody paranoid about canning what you can and can't can. Yeah, no. I don't play that game. You don't tell me what I can and can't do. Now, I know there's things I can't. I'm not stupid. But the things they allow, it's ungodly horrible. No, Kroger was down low on the list of having extreme high levels of lead and cadmium. Oh, they do. They do, because, they've gotten their way for quite a while now. And it's our own fault for not revolting yet. I'm ready. I want my country back. I'm tired of this crap. Good evening, David Lynn, Prepper Principal. Welcome in the chat. How are you doing, sir? It is. It is. But we've been warned about this. I've been following this since the early 80s, y'all. Early 80s. I knew in the 90s, I knew about 21. A little bit later, I knew about 30. A little bit later, I knew about 50. And if you know where I'm talking about, you'll know what those numbers represent. They've been planning this for a long time. And yeah, it's like I'm dying laughing, because they were just plastering the the crowning of the king. I'm American. We fought for our freedom away from that tyranny. I don't care about them over there. They're evil folks. And if you think little Charlie's a good man, you better think twice, because he's an elite. You better think twice. Little Charlie ain't sweet. Hmm. But yeah, if you ain't seen some of those sideways pictures of him, and I'm not being mean, I'm talking about actual pictures. That's not photoshopped. Yeah, he reminds me of what was that little what was that fairy tale cartoon of the oh, I know, no, I'm wrong. If you look at him in certain ways, sideways, he reminds me, if you know what movie I'm talking about, a Skeksis. He reminds me of a Skeksis, y'all. Good evening, Chestine. Welcome into chat. I felt so bad last Monday. I'm sorry I had to cut it short just as you came in. I would have loved to talk a whole lot longer. Good evening, Gear. Welcome into chat. How are you doing, Hoot Hoot? That's fine, Gear. Thank you. I appreciate it more than you know. And hopefully you'll get to come in and comment. Kinda, but a whole lot worse. People don't really. I mean, they spent all of that money, all that money on that pompous crap. When their people are going hungry, when their people need food, and they spent all that money. Look, I got mad when they took the Holy Stone from Scotland. Scotland now. I know my ancestors are rolling in their graves because, yeah, they weren't English supporters. They took that sacred stone from Scotland to be at little Charlie's um, crowning. No, that should have never left the soil of Scotland. Should have never. And it's just like him overriding, not that she was a sweet thing, his mama. He overrode his mama. And well, Camilla the Queen, I got a different title for her, but that's beyond the point. Good evening, Candy. Welcome into chat. How are you doing? Dark Crystal, yes, yes. One of my favorite movies. The older one. I haven't got to see all the. It's been a while. I know they done some smaller movies or something. I need to watch those. No, Candy, no need for sorry. You're not late. You arrived right when you were supposed to, and I am so thankful to see you. No, I haven't watched any of it because it makes me sick. All that pompous bull when your people's going hungry. You act like you're something big and wonderful and things are going to change. No, things aren't going to change until everybody's pantries in that country is full. And they could care less about the people. And the people need to realize this. Good evening, Bucko No No. I haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing? How are you doing? Good evening, Janie. Yes, I'm sorry. I done an update on Junior in the beginning of the live stream. He's a little bit better. They're playing with his medicine, so we're fixing to go through a roller coaster with his blood pressure. They murdered her. They murdered Diana. I don't care what anybody said. Her hissy hiney um, had Diana killed. You ain't gonna get me to think any other way. Oh, that's okay. I just was worried about you because I haven't seen you in a while. I didn't know if I upset you and you left. Oh, that's wonderful to hear. I wish I could have chickens where I'm at. I used to have beautiful, beautiful chickens. But where I'm at, there's just too many loose fighting pit bulls, and I had, if I remember right, it's been 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years ago. I had 24, ranging in age from 3, 4 years old down to baby chicks. Chickens just murdered for the heck of it. Those fighting pit bulls ate through 2 layers of chain link fence and chicken wire and just killed them. There was no blood. They didn't eat any of them. They ate up all the cages and everything. I can't go through that again. I just can't. So, unfortunately, don't have chickens. Uh oh, what did I miss? Who's leaving? Who's leaving? Wait a minute, who did I miss? Okay, here. Wait a minute. Okay. Hey, Janice. You too. You have a wonderful week ahead and hope to see you next Monday night. Oh, wild duckling. They're so cute. I love ducks. I can't help it. I love geese too. Oh, believe me, Bucko, no, no. There's a lot of people that don't like me. There's a lot of people that don't like me. And you know what? Water off a duck's back. I am the same pretty much every single day. I have my mood swings. Um, and let's see, how do we want to put this without offending, somebody? I am a aged to almost getting more aged, like fine wine, and I have my moments. Menopause has come and gone. I can have mood swing if I want to. I do get emotional. It's been a roller coaster ride with Junior because I wouldn't wish what we've been through on anybody. It's been hard. And people didn't understand that no, I wasn't ungrateful at the hospital for them keeping him alive. I was upset and ungrateful for how they lied to him and treated him and let that man. Now, see, this is another thing people don't know. Junior was a smoker, yes. Apparently, that hasn't affected his heart. Um, but they let that man lay there in that hospital bed. They never would give him anything like a nicotine patch or nothing. That man laid there while fighting for his life to stay alive and Jones off of nicotine without anything to help him. I'm mad about that too. They kept promising him that, and I kept getting after him. Where's his nicotine patch? Where is? Oh, we're waiting for the pharmacy to send it. Pharmacy sent the liars. You let that man who's struggling fighting for life to, Jones off of nicotine. Yeah, I'm not thankful for that. I'm not thankful for a whole lot, but they did keep him alive. I am and will always be thankful for that. Wait, over 21. What did I miss? Wait a minute. I missed something. Oh, the pities. Yes, yes. Not all pets are bad. I will never say that every single one's bad. It all has to do with the owners and the breeders, and these people raise them for one thing and one thing only: fighting. And then when they get evicted or moved because, money's not coming in at the first, they turn these dogs loose without a care. Good evening, Nancy P. How are you doing, darling? I'm sorry. This is the best time that I can do it because I know some people are on the East Coast and it's going to be really late. And then, unfortunately, those on the West Coast, it's really early for them. Yes, it was cruel. Yes, it was cruel. But you made it, Nancy. Yes, they did, Bucko No No. Yes, they did leave. The good ones did. Yep, money. Money. It's just right in Indiana. Yep, cold turkey. Absolutely cold turkey. And yeah, I mean, I felt bad, leaving when I knew that he was being watched over by a good nurse. Yes, we had some good nurses, and then we had some that need to rethink their choice in profession. But they knew the first nurse, she looked at me, honey, he's okay. I've got him. Go get you a breathing treatment. She knew what I was needing, and she didn't judge me. Now, there was a couple that judged me, and I'm going to tell you. Each day, I was lucky if I got away 4 times from that room. I didn't have breaks, didn't have anybody come up to give me breaks. So when I knew there was a good nurse, I'd go for a small break. So I didn't hurt people. I didn't cuss people out. I didn't tell them exactly how I felt. Yes, yes, I did. But I felt bad because I knew that he was jonesing. But a lot of times he was asleep. So I think that's what um, helped it, on to be able to do it cold turkey, but he shouldn't have had to do it cold turkey. Yes, that's absolutely true, Jennifer. Now, I do have a canning video for pickled beets. Now, they're just because of Junior, they're just a little bit sweeter than what your regular pickled beets are. They're really good. Now, hey, will it grow? Welcome in. It's John, y'all.